to the point, how many more times y'all gonna call me crazy? How many more times y'all gonna give me fake medication that makes me fat off of a misdiagnosis when I really have slight signs of autism from the car accident? You say, whatever, just give them that bipolar medication. Y'all try to kill the superheroes.
And more chance to be with you. 1, 2.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
I think you definitely gonna need to be hospitalized.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Never tell me I'm gonna wake up one day and have nothing.
In fact, his finances have skyrocketed, which makes him the richest black man in U.S. history.
The way Ye keeps recovering from controversy and cancellation almost feels impossible, but somehow every single time he finds a way back. Through the classic albums and the middle finger he throws at us, his battle with mental health has followed him from the beginning. As the artist has spoken about coming to terms with autism, he joined a list of exceptional innovators on the spectrum.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits.
And it just so happens that many of these people that changed the face of humanity, that thought differently, were on the spectrum. If you include the 18 people highlighted there, 13 of the 18 people were either diagnosed as being on the spectrum or suspected to have been on the spectrum. There was never a brief, at least I never read about a brief, that we were looking for people on the spectrum. They were looking for people that thought differently.
Perhaps we have put Ye on too high of a pedestal, but a lot of the greatest creators have been difficult personalities. The folklore of Vincent van Gogh is that he never sold a painting in his lifetime. While researchers believe that isn't entirely true, what is true is that he was dysfunctional and spent time in mental institutions. It made it hard for his genius to be appreciated during its time. After arguing with painter Paul Gauguin, he drunkenly sliced his ear off and gave it to a prostitute.
Jesus said, "If thy hand offend thee, cut it off." I believe I have a menacing spirit around me. An invisible being, and all he wants to do is plunge a knife into my heart. I saw him and I tried to cut him out of myself.
In the middle of yet another public collapse, a documentary exploring Ye's mental health was quietly released in the spring of 2025. It arrived while audiences were exhausted and disappointed by everything surrounding him. Ye's battle has seemingly been about being freed from the companies he's had to work with and the system he feels is influencing him. A perspective that comes from not wanting to hear anything from people who haven't reached the heights he has.
I got 4 masters. I got Bravado, Sony, Universal, and you know the last? They're trying to take their people still away, but if it gets taken away, I feel guilty. I can't base my whole life on losing the deal. That's how people control you. I'd rather not be given control.
This went on until he forced himself into cancellation, severing his ties across much of the creative industry, in his own type of Van Gogh ear-slicing moment.
I won't let nobody fucking control me no more. So someone's like, Kanye, do this, don't do that. Fuck you!
But a lot of what was sending me into the episodes, and it's hard. My dad, a bunch of people said, you can't leave Adidas. Why would you leave all that money? The constant feeling of not being in control spun me out of control.
Ye has always looked to films like The Truman Show, The Matrix, Akira, and Star Wars for inspiration. Stories about breaking free from limiting systems, challenging authority, and escaping the realities people are trapped inside. These movies tap into something a lot of us feel, the idea that we're the main characters of our own story, slowly waking up to how artificial or constructed the world around us can seem. He broke all expectations from the genesis as being a producer all the way through his many ventures. For most people, breaking the Matrix might mean finally thinking for yourself. But Ye's movie operates on an entirely different scale, which has been much of the recipe to break new ground in what's possible in this world.
I look at life like it is a movie, like I'm an actor in your movie, you're an actor in my movie, and I just look at it like if we were directing a movie about our time right now, 200 years from now, what would you use? That whole second life conversation and who we are in real life and are we method acting? Who are you on the internet? Who are you in public eye? That shit is all part of the movie, but we're designing into like 4 or 5 dimensions at this point now.
We have seen how Jesus walks for him, and we've seen how his dark fantasies made him great in the game. Throughout it all, his relationship with God has remained central to the way he interprets the world, not just as belief, but as part of the mission he thinks he was chosen to carry out.
I paint with my qualities and faults. Jesus said, turn your heart away from things visible and turn yourself to things invisible.
It's still a very Christian way to think about living when you praying for freedom, cause your mind been in prison, cause they trying to control every single big decision. You ain't effing the system, then why the F is you living? Look.
Bully is a reflective project of a relationship with his faith and soul music before a mental breakdown of villainous actions that forced Ye into a state of quietness. This process became cold, but the warmth of his soul samples allowed forgiveness. Cleaning up most of the unhinged darkness, only having the art to rely on instead of his voice would be the only way to gather the people again to witness the highest levels of artistry that's made him one of the greatest creators of our time. Ye somehow planted his feet back in the business with his first #1 hit song in 13 years with Carnival, but the release of Vultures 2 left fans underwhelmed with its poor packaging. The Vowed 3 Vultures iterations had not seen its completion while he picked up an addiction to nitrous oxide. It put him into an unhealthy spiral as he seemed to be stumbling off his path that he had just fought so hard to rebuild for himself.
So bold, this ring that I hold.
He moved to Japan with its anti-paparazzi laws and set up a run of concerts in China. It was a little bit of a homecoming moment for him as he shared a photo of his stay in China when his mother taught there when Ye was a child. He found the hunger to break ground on a new project.
What makes Japan so special to you?
I love the temples. I love how people are with you. You know, they're just really respectful. My wife said that in past lives I was a king, I was an emperor out here.
It's the light that's gonna illuminate the way we moving. Trust in me, we going God mode, the theory's proven. Light 'em up, baby up, the only go, the G is one.
Preacher Man was previewed to a 70,000 person crowd for the first time. It was a beat originally made for Drake and made its way into Ye's new project. He places himself in the role of a preacher who lost his way and is coming back to God. Within that, he found his own greatness again. The minimal warmth was an atmosphere that was a step in a different direction than the subject matter in Vultures 1.
I got a new album coming out. The album is called Bully, and this song is called Beauty and the Beast. She'll never put me down. Put me down. Put me down. Don't take this disrespect. I'm sitting here trying to redirect them. Think about it every night and day. Try to stay away and keep my heart.
Beauty and the Beast was unveiled in China, originating from the Donda recording sessions in 2021. A tone of reflection and moving forward from his vices while still wrestling with uncertainty. Just 2 days after his China show, he was back in Japan attending a wrestling event. The moment was in line with what inspired the visual ethos for Bully, as he sampled the walkout song from Japanese lucha libre wrestler. Luchador mask through Mexican culture has represented the external battle between good and evil.
Why the title Bully?
You know, my son was playing with some kid and then he kicked him. And I asked my son, I said, why you do that? He said, cause he weak. And I was like, this man is really a bully.
For bully.
Don't say do that, he just kick everybody and like push him over and like this.
I wonder where we get that from. Which parent?
Oh.
Hi, weirdos. Hey, stop it. Hi, Marcus. If you're watching this, I hate you. Hey.
Bully sounds compared to Vultures 1. Oh, it's completely different. Even if you just listen to the snippets that have been leaked. And this whole album, Ye, with his own hands, chopped the samples and started all the production. So that in itself is a different direction than Vultures 1 was.
Celebrated Japanese street photographer Daido Moriyama, infamous for his high contrasted black and white images, snapped a portrait of Saint West, rocking a set of titanium teeth just like his dad. The teeth are linked to a Japanese tradition called Ohara Goro, where teeth blackening is done as a symbol of maturity.
Both my mom and my dad were professional teachers, so that makes me a natural teacher in my blood. And I'm just thinking about how her album is gonna be.
Yeah.
Like how insane, like everything that I learned, that I could have it flow through her also, and for her to become the greatest, the next frontier.
And this album is just so positive. Every word matters.
Yeah, because you lean on like a bar that like brings somebody down. Just that was always rap. Yeah. And this is like more the way I remember Lauryn Hill. I feel like it is my Miseducation. It is my Gnarls Barkley album, because even 808s and Heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know Bully has a title and a connotation that a lot of people are anti-Bully. I'm just hyper next level frequency right now.
Another album where Ye mentioned being inspired by Lauryn Hill and Gnarls Barkley was Graduation.
Lauryn Hill said her heart was in Zion. I wish her heart still was in rhyming. Cause who the kids gon' listen to? I'm like Gnarls Barkley, me Charles Barkley, I'm Pop the Barkers.
This was a time where the artist was also influenced by Japanese imagery. The album is built on a foundation of hopeful, soul, and R&B driven lyrics, much like the artist who expanded Ye's creative palette and influenced his evolving sound over time. Even with intentions of making the sound more hopeful and light, he needed validation, and he will not let anybody forget that he thinks he's the best.
And as far as all these rappers go, Dylon, yay, that's it. Top 5, top 100, top 1,000, top million. Nobody did. I told you 36 ghosts. I got another 36 ghosts to go. Nobody. Y'all can play around. Don't step over the line though. Everybody, anybody is up for everybody. And that's not, I got bigger fish to fry. I got people to save. I ain't even on a rap shit. I already beat the rap shit. I ain't beat the money shit. I already beat the baddest bitch shit. I already beat the drip. Y'all ain't got shit on me. Y'all ran my name through the mud. Y'all took all that position. You gave the other niggas my position coach. Ain't nobody king over me. Every summer, there's no king. I'm the king because I'm the only one against y'all. I'm the only one that's gonna go against y'all. That's why. Flashing lights is going to the Super Bowl. Can't tell me nothing is going to the Super Bowl. You're welcome.
Ye was back in LA for Grammy weekend with Carnival up for Rap Song of the Year. He gathered a talented group to contribute to the new project.
So Pluma pulling up.
Como te gusta a ti? Te doy hasta mi último. Take my last breath away,
All pavé mosaic setting, flooded all over.
Everybody loves them, but tell me, baby, can you stand the rain?
Chrome Maybachs. How you doing, Ye? Ye, what's going on, broski?
Did Kanye West and Bianca Censori get kicked out of the 2025 Grammys?
I'm gonna ask you how it was to beat the Grammys.
How was it to beat the Grammys?
We beat the Grammys.
The provocative stunt was to prove he was bigger than the system, but it was minor compared to the most disturbing crash out of his career.
Kanye West defends Sean Diddy Combs amid the music mogul's sex trafficking case. He writes on X, formerly Twitter, February 6th, "Free Puff," before adding in a separate message, "Puff, we love you."
Ye opened the floodgates to a series of posts on X defending Diddy's footage abusing Cassie. His 2023 apologies towards the Jewish community were rescinded as he reclaimed his love for Hitler. He had something to say about all your favorite rappers, slavery was a choice again, he claimed he beat women before, and that he had his wife Bianca Censori under his control. Not only did he embarrass himself amongst a rant that unlocked new levels of what should not be said, but it was a shame to even call yourself a fan. Many people who forgave him after it appeared he would never return from his denomination of Jews truly had to pull the plug on their favorite artist. Whether interpreted as a hypomaniac outburst or not, the situation felt overwhelming. As a once revered figure, continued crossing lines of moral accountability with his public statements. The line between separating the art from the artist had never been thinner. A rebuilding yet volatile Ye seemed to burn everything down again, leaving many to wonder whether it was self-destruction, retaliation, or simply the result of an ongoing emotional instability playing out in public. In March, Ye shared a link to a film directed by the legendary music video and film director Hype Williams, with the first unfinished version of Bully. The project went under the radar and fed up. For those who are able to look past the meltdown, witnessed the project that seemed very ambitious, as there was little to no rapping at all. The feedback from critics was positive, saying the production was rich and optimistic, with comparisons to be as moving to the sonics of The Life of Pablo and 808s and Heartbreaks. Ye finished his project and moved on to a motivation to simply make people hurt after a custody battle for his kids. His fight was not just to cut off or scream at the ones who disagreed with him, but to make everyone feel the pain he was feeling.
Why say fuck Virgil after he passed?
I'm evil. I am an evil person.
I feel like you've always represented God-fearing ideals, though.
God has the wrath. You only play with God for so long.
I remember after even walking out of that interview with him, he was so keen on telling me, he's like, I want to say anything to make them hurt. It wasn't even about him believing shit. He wanted people to hurt. And I could tell he was hurt. He's kind of sweating. I could kind of see his eyes and shit. And there was a point, like, I could see him, like, he's fully teared up. That's why I continued to talk to him afterwards. He would call me and he would, like, just vent. Whether it's his relationship with Jay or the relationship with the mother of his child or newer rappers or these other people that he felt he did so much. And he felt like at such a low point, but he was so hurt. That's a really interesting cross-section of his life. And, I hope he's not all the way defined by that completely.
The reputation of Ye's ego has gotten him into trouble that could have been avoided, but the reflection of it all has created some great pieces of art. Even though the death of his mother threw him into a crisis, something else noticeably changed once he went to the hospital during the Life of Pablo tour. It was an experience that Ye himself is unsure how it all went down. In 2022, Ye shared a text from Harley Pasternak, his former trainer, who called the police to have him admitted into the hospital. Pasternak, known to some as being a handler, said he would have Ye medicated again and sent back into Zombieland, and play dates would be different with his kids. Living while looking over his shoulder since Ye split with Kim, he has had a feverish paranoia about the ones around him and the Hollywood personalities that could be affecting his children.
Disney signed somehow, which we got lawyers for this, signed somehow to get the rights to my kid's name and likeness.
It's been a battle of balancing the meds that don't kill his creativity while also keeping a lid on his rants.
My wife took me to do that because she said, something about your personality doesn't feel like it's bipolar. I've seen bipolar before. Yeah. I've seen she's educated. And come to find out, it's really a case of autism that I have. And autism takes you to a Rain Man thing where you're like, oh man, I'm gonna wear this Trump hat because I just like Trump in general. And then when people tell you to not do it, you just get on that one point. And that's my problem when fans tell me to do my album a certain way. I'll do it the opposite way just because la I got my money, right? I haven't taken the medication since I found out that it wasn't bipolar, that wasn't the right diagnosis. It's finding stuff that doesn't block the creativity. Obviously, that's what I bring to the world. It's worth a ramp up. As long as y'all get the creativity, like.
So people on the spectrum, the right side of the brain, the one that answers, as they say, for the creativity, for the common experiences, the more sort of social behavior, it's impaired. It's one of the reasons that they are the way that they are. There isn't really a social common behavior that they have. There aren't the same references that they share with people. So people on the spectrum, their left side, the more logic side, not only is it not impaired, because it's what they use more often. In some cases, it tends to be more developed. And the theory that came out of this piece was people on the spectrum, they approach problem solving differently because that's the way that they're wired.
Vincent van Gogh had a dedicated relationship in Christianity as a preacher, which took a dark turn after his lover refused to marry him. Similar to his grief, Ye's mental health went down the drain after his divorce with Kim. His relationship with his faith has become an internal battle since his Donda era, as the vibrant imagery we've known him for turned all black. Even as a lot of great artists live a tortured life with their experiences and or mental illnesses, it does not mean it creates great work in the middle of these moments. Van Gogh went through an addiction to paint, which made it debilitating to work to the best of his abilities. Ye would tap a young melodizer, Dave Blunts, to build the flow of his episode, while Ye moved his operation to Spain. He would speak of titles like World War III for an album, which later became amongst those shameful tracks like Hail Hitler and other titles blatantly disrespecting the Jews would appear. It was ugly. You have to put your moral guard down to even be curious about these songs. The artist people call their hero was an unapologetic villain.
All the painters crazy. Maybe just the good ones. I really don't know.
Seeing it playing out in real time. You see a guy that, you know, for whatever reason at that moment, and it's gonna sound crazy, he felt he needed to let people know he sucked his cousin's dick. Like, I know it's gonna sound funny, but it's not funny. He, like, even repressed trauma from then, he felt he had to unearth. You can see that this guy's living a real life. You know, I've always said that the greatest artists, there is zero line between their art and their life. And when he did create those musics, his mindset and whether it's the anger, the vitriol, wanted to push the limits, that was him.
After his Twitter rant, his wife left him without any sort of trace to be found. The will to get her back may have been the motivation to take responsibility for his mess.
Bianca, I just want you to come back. Come back to me. I know what I did to make you mad.
Ye may have been expressing his traumas the only way he knows how through this episode. And there is some work that cannot be left behind for Bully. In the process of coming out of his mania, his music would become more self-aware of his shortcomings, but not fully transformed. In the time of the sinister tracks, he discovered a musical palette developed into Bully that would be cold and haunting.
I'm waking up from a daydream, and I hope you get all the love and all the shine you always wanted all the time.
A longtime session artist, Andre Troutman, earned the title as being a director of the album, and he is the co-star of the stadium shows. Contributed to 10 songs and set the emotional tone for the Bully landscape, an instrument known as the talk box. His cousin is a funk legend, Roger Troutman, who popularized the instrument.
I wish I never lived this long. I hope this feeling never comes again.
Damn was originally released with an AI video as a single. With the introspectum of Damn, Ye takes responsibility for damaging the lives around him, but he can't help but feel the way he feels. Release dates for Bully were announced and passed throughout the fall. As the packaging and distribution for the project began, realizations of something more important had to be done if Ye wanted his music to be accepted on the pedestal it deserved without being affected by censoring.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with bipolar also, so it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. It's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, you can regret and fix it.
He's taken a full-page ad out in the Wall Street Journal saying he lost touch with reality.
And in this ad, he says his behavior stems from an undiagnosed brain injury caused by a car crash he was in 25 years ago.
Ye described the denial that comes with the disease. He claimed that his use of the swastika was during a fractured state, and the poor behavior felt like an out-of-body experience, of which he allegedly doesn't recall. The antics during the early part of 2025 were described as a 4-month-long manic episode. Art would be his only focus, as he ended the apology with, "I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today to simply ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home."
We should note the timing of this here, just a few days before his 12th album is set to drop.
The letter would come 2 days before signing a distribution deal with the startup company Gamma, a bold partnership with music executive Larry Jackson to fight the forces who kicked Yeezy out. He has come across a lot of money that he could have walked away from all of this with, but he is still on a mission to be the greatest artist ever, and it's hard to see that if people aren't accepting of his music. The same person we have seen use his voice to break through the industry's expectations had finally come to terms with the wrong that comes from his own selfishness while on his creative focus. The man, in fact, will never be able to live off his own pride, as he has God to humble him at any moment. He was finally silenced. In a 2024 text message, Ye described the title of Bully, saying, "Sometimes you the bully. Sometimes your partner is the bully. Your boss, your kids, society, the devil, even God can be your bully. God, why you beating me down like this?"
All the castles in the sky come down crashing every time I speak my mind.
While in Japan creating the album, he would get direct help from the individuals he desired to make this album sound like.
Bless your soul.
The thing that made Ye such an inspiration early on was the fearlessness not to be boxed in. Whether it was wanting to rap and create the college dropout, or how vocal he was during his battle with fashion in the Yeezus era, the things we loved about him may have been instances of mania. His courage got louder as he continued to climb, representing a life of duality on the extreme sides of the spiritual spectrum.
I was doing Stronger for 3 months. I worked on a video for 3 months to deliver a product. I'm not just doing it for 1 week and going off and smoking some weed and going to the club and partying. I'm delivering product on a whole new level. I'm like a machine. I'm a robot. You cannot offend a robot. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, I'm so focused. It's nothing anyone can say or do to me to stop the music, the product that I'm gonna put out. And at the end of the day, the talent will overcome anything. So I have the right to talk about what I want. I have the right to give my opinion because I back everything up. Y'all thought I was talking when I first came out. Now y'all see I backed everything up. Back to back to back to back. So basically, shut up. Stop talking to me. People need my music. People need Kanye West albums. As long as they need Kanye West albums, you need to stop. You know, don't. What I'm saying, do exactly what you want. Print what you want. Try to make it seem like I'm some like type of lunatic, because you only make me hotter. You only raise my prestige. Thank you very much.
Not many artists have spoken about the duality of their human nature like Ye. He broke down doors in hip-hop on God being spoken about on hit records. He's also not shy to talk about his lust and gluttony. The duality of all of it is his movie. In this album, he will be exploring this past sound to find his way back to himself after the rough year.
I want to play this chopper.
You've been good to us. You've been good to us, Father. I want to say thank you, Lord.
This maybe could have like some drums, like the I Am a God drums.
When the Yeezus album, I know he had joints on there like Guilt Trip. I did the drums, like I redid the drums. It's crazy, like I co-produced New Slaves, and I worked on Guilt Trip, but then I also added on like I'm a God and like Black Skinhead, and like wrote on Can't Hold My Liquor and shit like that.
It's I couldn't figure it out.
I just want to say thank you, Lord. That we've been to ourselves, Father.
You see this coat, nigga? Check me in.
Me and Ye just bounce ideas.
Do you have to create this cinematic, like it has to be like a movie going on? Like
yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a lot of rap niggas that swear they make movies and shit, but it just be like these like weak ass 2D, weak ass like Canon films and shit. But I'd rather turn it into some like Frank Sinatra fucking like Scarface shit every day.
Cottage Grove to King Drive. Yeah, this life is a movie.
Because I look good, I smell good, I feel good.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Father went on to reach #1 on the US radio charts. Bianca Censori made her directorial debut with the video being shot in one take, describing her church as a surreal dreamlike environment where time feels slowed, spatial logic is distorted, and reality becomes fantasy. The symbolism is nearly endless. The child version of Ye sits right behind the creator. He's one of 3, along with Ye and Michael Jackson, who are aware of the facade. He starts playing with the white Rubik's Cube that starts to trigger the chaos, where things are happening that the world mixes with the church that do not actually go with the Bible. The child then blows out the candle, which signifies the presence of Christ in the Catholic Church. And when it's blown out, it triggers 2 astronauts to snatch Ye out of the congregation. He is an alien not built for the system, while his protege arrives and is reaping all the benefits of the industry, despite his own baggage. Travis walks in with 2 women that culture viewed as extensions to male power for his wedding, further mixing the things of the world with Christ. Ye's mom is represented as a cat, after a recent picture appeared of a cat taking dominion over their Chicago home. The mother takes the Rubik's Cube, which triggers everyone to leave the venue. The woman representing the Virgin Mary sits still, symbolizing woman's strength and calmness through times of madness. A man walks in with Jesus on the cross and stands as the only one to take true dominion over the space. Aside from the things, the world blends with the church.
Chicago, so great. And it's Houston. And it's screwed.
Ye would announce his first live performance in the US since 2021 on the grand 80,000 person scale of SoFi Stadium. The tickets were hot the moment they were announced. The next day, Ye buckled down, promising a March 27th release. On March 24th, listening parties were announced for 3 cities. That same day, the final version of the album leaked to unhappy fans of AI vocals. A new tracklist of the album was posted with 8 new songs, with the promising Ye not to have any AI vocals at all. The party didn't have the same cultural support and grandiose communal moment like past sessions, but those who popped out and listened to the live stream retreated to something that actually felt complete.
What are your pens? Sunlight.
No love, punch drunk, hungover. Punch drunk, hungover, love. I had to learn to read between the lines. Overboard when they mention me at times. Know the Lord's intervention was divine.
The new tracks added on top of the original release would see a return to old philosophies. Fans really felt like they were getting the old Kanye back. Much like his return from the Taylor Swift moment, Bully transformed into an apology album. On Punch Drunk, with production credits from his daughter, Ye speaks on getting lost within the fame, power, and pain, but God has revealed himself once again through it all.
And I wonder why I always wish you'd stop and hold me.
Had to change of heart, I felt different at first. Lot of pain, lot of hurt, but still could have been worse. Go to work or whatever she said, whatever works.
Despite his shortcomings and wrongdoings, he still feels like he's living a good life. His ups and downs are still working for him as he's taking control of his relationship with his detractors.
Can you believe it? I can believe it the way you are. Somebody gotta do it. You play tracks like Michael Jordan shoots free throws. Anybody does something that much and that long and is that good, it's gotta pay off.
Only child, mama's favorite. Conditions that I made it out, it's amazing. Going through cycles, different phases. I'm trying to see how far I can take it.
Always taught me you have to believe it first. You have to believe it first. So what's when I had to believe that I could make it into the game first. That was one of the first things. And I believed it and I willed it. And they say overconfident, like that's a bad thing. I think overconfident, that needs to be a bad word. How can you be overconfident?
He will always take things as far as he can, and his mother comes in to validate his stardom, still finding confidence in who he is. Yeezy tapped 9 Vicious, who's leading the new generation with the sound of punk soul. He kept the album relatable to the youth, with his energizing ad-libs, making another feature on This a Must.
The time is now, right now. This is the hour, this is the new dawn, this is the new day. Now is the time to stretch your brain to its maximum peak, to know everything, to move, to build, and to plan. For nature in all her glory hath named you her king. She has named you the king.
Guaranteed my vice is different than yours was. Drunk off power and I was pouring up. When all y'all treated me like an orphan. The classes turned me to Daddy Warbucks. The stables for the Rarries and Porsches. The fame was only getting me more buzzed.
Ye was back rapping with a clear anti-hero position. He countered out the ones who forgot about him and explained how society forced him to become as rich as he could so nobody could say anything to him. He drowned himself in luxury and fame, which only made him sink deeper. He made his first appearance on the album with a focus on lyrics that we had not heard in a while. The artist doubled down on his greatness and this a must, still talking his shit on something fit for this time period.
Know the truth, I'm just over it. Y'all don't understand. Next to me, you niggas soda cans in the Grand Canyon.
The first offering from the LA listening party brought excitement back to the artist that the industry was quite surprised by. He executed after many had written him off. The album was timely, with an over-demand of tickets for his SoFi Stadium show. Now with the second date. The Dome stage was done in collaboration with Oz Taylor, who was also a creative force behind The Vulture's visuals. Ye has pushed the boundary of stage design as another medium of his greatness, but the minimalist globe is rewriting the rules to live performance. The floor seats and mosh pitters actually get the worst view of Ye, and the perspective becomes more actualized the higher you are. The projections would reference the explosion from Akira to Luke Skywalker's home in Star Wars, living capsules for the Space City, and even the opera Das Rheingold. The stage presentation was striking enough to carry the communal tone of nostalgia that rayed from the floor, the nosebleeds, to music filling up homes. Ye rallied the people together again, as they really showed out for the one who has led a trail of inspiration for us to go out and leave our own mark on the world. It felt contentious to talk about the creator for the past few years, but the shows are reintroducing his genius.
Walk away. I've been sitting back and got the spine for it. She eating up my time, she was designed for it. I gotta rearrange and move my mind for it. Whoa.
Don Toliver carried many of the hooks for the album, even though many of his recordings didn't make it to the final product due to his label blocking the songs. Don T has transformed into a powerhouse of melodies, as he is the current superstar of lineage that has come after Ye and Travis Scott, and developed into a new verse of Ye confronting the ones who are controlling the system.
They hate to see the system actually figured out. They want you caught up in distraction, fear and doubt. I'd rather focus on the love that's been around.
Even though he's rearranged, he is still holding on to the anger to those he feels are exploiting him. Ye was set to headline London's biggest festival of the year at Wireless Fest for July until Pepsi pulled their sponsorship. The noise got the attention of the UK government. He said the artist should not have been invited in the first place, and then would eventually ban him from the country completely.
Kanye West has been banned from a music festival in the UK. Are they finally getting tough on anti-Semitism in the UK?
You would think so, but just give yourself a few more hours and you'll probably likely run into another pro-Palestinian protest that is openly anti-Semitic in many parts of its organization. This is a government that has decided to make an example of Kanye, but didn't have the same sort of approach or energy for months of these pro-Palestinian protests. In many ways, it's openly anti-Semitic. So you have to wonder why Kanye somehow made the cut for the government to take action, but not anti-Semitic hate mobs.
It led to the shutdown of Wireless Fest for good in 2026. Ye humbly responded, as it was still in question if he would be able to find the venues to be able to perform. A hot mic with fans watching the live stream could have been an issue, but money talks. With the threat of being banned from more countries, he met with other world leaders to boost the economies of Turkey and Albania with $100 million each, breaking through the most career-threatening moment of his time.
I just want to tell y'all we just broke the record, 118,000 largest stadium performance of all time.
She doing it right to keep me up. Stay tonight, but it's never enough. While we here going in circles, 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 circles.
The circle continues as we witness Ye charge through the battles to be king of creative culture. This album wasn't as prolific as past work, but pieces of his greatness is still in the tank of the 49-year-old as he makes more attempts to make classics. His motion right now is much easier to embrace when he's just focusing on the product instead of using his voice and taking the shots for his courage. We have treated Ye like our family member, frustrated with their actions, but still having to love them. But he is still the one who finds ways to inspire us. Vincent Van Gogh's brother financially supported him through most of his life and is known as the only one who truly understood Vincent. Even he had to completely cut his brother off at times to get through to him, and at times we may need to do the same. Right now, Ye seems to be afraid of himself as he hasn't taken his normal album press run.
This was supposed to be the interview about the album. Like, we had a date.
Yeah.
We booked the studio, and then it was like, look, unfortunately right now, Kanye's still trying to figure out his medication. And he's just not totally lucid in his speech.
I feel like I gotta meet Ye again.
What they gon' do with them? Take some time off, they act like they don't remember. Couple fortnights and at least 2 winners. Back with the head taps and the head spinners.
In Sisters and Brothers, he acknowledges that the only thing that can heal his damage is time, but he's found other purpose outside of the work. The loneliness of all of this was brought into White Lines, with production credits going to New York soul sampler Cash Cobain.
Sometimes I'm alone by myself, yeah. Alone by myself, yeah. I think I caught feelings for somebody else. Left me alone by myself, yeah.
The release of Bully made 152,000 first week sales. Ye's label Gamma corrected it to be 200,000, which would have made it Yeezy's 11th #1 album. The misinformation led to anonymous industry members prosecuting Larry Jackson and Gamma for inflating album sales.
We're not paying attention because the people that they going against play a dirty game. They play the media game. Think about this. Kanye West went against a certain group of people and they took him in the middle of the street and they whipped his ass. They made every black person alive say, don't fuck with us. Look what happens to the biggest. He used to be a billionaire, now he's not. All these things they did to this man. All these things they did to this man to kill this man, to make every one of us. Hey, you know your lawyer say, look what they doing to Ye. Hey, Ty, you don't want that to happen to you? We know the game they play with us to keep us afraid. So now take that into consideration. Nobody's supposed to touch Kanye. Nobody. Live Nation's not gonna touch him. Nobody gonna touch him. The one black man that had a checkbook large enough to touch him, touched him and brought him back to the top.
Larry Jackson.
Apologized, everything. And now they're trying to take him down. Black people, when we gonna stop falling for this dumb shit? Nigga, they can't take Ye down. They gonna take the nigga that put Ye down. Until no black man is powerful enough to stand in the middle of the street and say, this is how I really feel.
Even at #2, fans feel like they left with a piece of what made the more acceptable versions of Ye so great, and his name has been spoken in higher esteem with less fear of judgment.
What's the inspiration for the stage design in terms of the earth? I feel like that's just cool as hell.
Coming back, standing on top of the world after everything we've been through. This is come back on top of the world. Fuck with that.
The scores from critics were low, but the deluxe version of Bully, released in June, will cover a lot of the flaws. It was dropped with 2 new tracks, but more importantly, an updated mix, and culminated the feature from Lauryn Hill, the blueprint of the Bully Sonics. The new mix would have been a much better presentation on the first release, but it's the scars Ye is suffering from, as his mixing has been a problem without the one and only Mike Dean.
How me and Mike Dean really fell out because I was like screaming. I was like, man, I'm a grown ass man. You screaming at me, even though I didn't know that I was really, I didn't understand that that's what I was doing. Yeah. When they scream at in front of 20 people, it's a misunderstanding for sure.
Ye has spent years navigating mental health struggles while moving through industries he believes have exploited him. Whether you agree with him or not, his career has forced conversations that have changed the landscape for artists who came after him. Despite the hateful rhetoric he's promoted, history is full of celebrated artists whose personal lives are deeply troubling. From Caravaggio, who fled after killing a man, to musicians whose addictions ended in tragedy. Art has long existed inside deeply flawed people, and he is accepting his flaws and trying to get healthy for now, as he stepped out of the spotlight and trying to let the work speak for itself.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank y'all so much for getting behind this on this journey. These #1s mean even more than the graduations and the Watch the Thrones and all the #1s before, because as you know, like a year into the project, I went into an episode. So this right here is a celebration, a success story of people who deal with mental health crises, to be able to come out of it and actually have #1 records with all the things that were done, with all the things that were said, and for you guys to be so forgiving and so supportive. just means the world to me.